Oye, espérate y espérame. Pero vamos a hablar inglés.
No me llama Carlos, ese no es mi nombre, toma un cocotazo. Tienes que entender que soy muy gay, no muchacho. Me da pique porque para ti soy un fracaso. Me da pique porque para los hombres soy Pegaso. Me da pique porque te las voy sobre paso. Me da pique porque ellos son carrasco. Me da pique porque ellos son carrasco. Un carrasco, dale fuetazo. Un carrasco, dale fuetazo.
Oh, 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 oh. I can't believe what you said to me. Last night we were alone. You threw your hands up. Baby, you gave up. I can't believe how you looked at me with your James Dean glossy eyes. In your tight jeans, with your long hair, and your cigarette stained lies. Could we fix you if you broke? And is your punchline just a joke? I'll never talk again. Oh boy, you've left me speechless. You've left me speechless, so speechless. I can't believe how you slurred at me with your half-wide broken jaw. You pop my heart seams. Oh, my bubble dreams, I can't believe how you looked at me with your Johnny Walker eyes. He's gonna get you, and after he's through, there's gonna be no love left to write. And I know that's complicated, but I'm a loser in a love, so baby, raise a glass to mend all the broken heart of all my wrecked up friends. I'll never talk again. Oh boy, you've left me speechless. You've left me speechless, so speechless. And I'll never love again. Oh friend, you've left me speechless. You've left me speechless, so speechless. I'll never talk again. I'll never love again. I'll never write a song, won't even sing along. I'll never love again. Oh, so speechless. Boy, I'm so speechless. Some men may follow me, but you choose death and company. Why you so speechless? Oh, oh. Why you so speechless? Why you so speechless? Why you so speechless? Speechless. Diablo, coño, ¿qué es lo que mi gente? I got carried away. I was in my feelings. I'm still in my feelings. Pero, tú sabes, estamos el 12 de octubre. Nada de celebrar. hace 532 años que vino Colón a destruir la vida de Quisqueya y de los taínos. Nada de celebrar hoy. Pero nada. ¿Qué lo que, mi gente? And welcome back to another episode of the Vamos Hablar Inglés podcast. I'm your host, La Reina Taína. And the title of this episode is, Boy, Why Are You So Speechless? El título de este episodio es, Boy, Why Are You So Speechless? I'm not going to translate it. That's the point. Okay. Pero sí, como hablé anterior, este episodio y los siguientes episodios se van a hacer en Spanglish o lo que sea, porque al final del día como me sale, me sale. Entonces si sale en español, en inglés, en jiwatajía, en chino, en japonés, lo que sea, va a salir y ya, allá ellos. ¿Qué más a compartir? Este episodio vamos a hablar sobre lo que sucedió en mi vida durante el mes de agosto de 2025. La mayoría de este mes yo estaba viviendo en el Caribe, en Panamá y en la República Dominicana. So yeah, we're going to be talking about what went down in August based off of the things that I captured in my camera roll y también in my journal entries. So yeah, as always, I want to give trigger warnings as conversations we will be having may be a little bit triggering, so please take care of yourselves. Por favor, mi gente, cuídense cuando estamos escuchando este episodio de mi podcast, porque como siempre vamos a hablar de cosas fuertes. Entonces, por favor, cuida su salud mental y toma su tiempo para descansar. Y nada, I also want to remind ourselves it's important that I remind ourselves that the intention of this podcast is to share the raw, uncut, lived experiences of La Reina Taína. My podcast is living proof of the complexities of being an Afro-Caribbean Taína, two-spirit, trans, displaced, disabled woman. My lived experiences are my lived experiences alone. I share my story the way I see it and the way I experienced it. I refuse to let anyone dim my light or filter my story. Let this be a lesson to everyone out there listening. So share your story from your perspective and do it with pride. And remember, always use I statements, because at the end of the day, how you lived it is the truth. Entonces. But yes, going back, like I said, vamos a compartir lo que sucedió en agosto. I wanted to start off by highlighting something that is very important to me. In July, in my journal specifically, I only wrote less than 1 page in my journal. Pero en agosto, I wrote about 37 pages on both sides of the page. 37 pages. A majority of that I wrote, a majority of what I wrote had to do with building myself, my future, and my career. I even created a playlist on Spotify titled Me Time. This was actually created towards the end of July, but my spirit and my inner child really put in the work to parent myself as I have been my entire life. So, like the previous one, we're just gonna go through some short highlights. And yeah, so what's important is that the title is paralleling to Lady Gaga's song Speechless, where she talks about how she's speechless and how men be speechless. That's it. Nah, obviously it's deeper than that, but just go into it, listen to it, absorb it. There's certain things you just have to experience yourself each time. Some little highlights is that August 5th, I made it to Panama safely. August 7th, I discovered the music of yet another Brazilian transvesti queer musician. And I even discovered the world's first all-trans choir. So if folks want to know about that, hit me up. I definitely want to share more about that. Hopefully I can get them on my podcast episode once I learn Brazilian Portuguese. This I loved it because it further breathed life into like my two-spirited artist self. I went down yet another spiral, reminding me that I need to go to Brazil ASAP. Like I gotta do some work there for sure. I'm very excited. My first day of school, film school, was August 25th, which is cute. You know, there was a lot of shit going on, so I just want to hold space for that now. It was a very fun moment, and I was very happy, and I'll never forget that day. And then in this month, I endured yet another 3 housing situations on top of the 6 to 7 housing situations from the month prior. So, esa mierda estaba durísimo. Entonces, lo siguiente, yo lo escribí en español y en inglés. Entonces, yo lo voy a leer en inglés y después lo voy a leer en español. So, I'm sorry for the people that, you know, understand both languages, but good for you that you understand both languages. Lo voy a leer así mismo. So, Lionsgate, it occurred during August 8th, 8/8. And that week, I really focused on building myself up from scratch. My brand, my 10-year plan, etc. I was not playing games. It was me over everything, and it still is me over everything. I wanted so many people from my past to be on this same energy, this ride or die energy. I just had to learn that I had to ride or die for myself. So now I'm going to translate it. El portal de León ocurrió en 8/8, el 8 de agosto. Y esa semana me enfoqué de verdad en reconstruirme desde cero. Mi marca, mi plan de 10 años, todo. Ya no estaba jugando. Soy yo por encima de todo, al final del día. Quise que mucha gente de mi pasado estuviera en esta energía y fuera leal a mí. Pero tuve que aprender que tenía que ser leal y luchar por mí misma. Pulling a quote from my journal that I wrote during Lionsgate, and I quote, "You need to learn to let go of the things that bring you pain. Let go of it. It's not yours to carry anymore. You did a great job." So last night I was actually rewriting this, and when I had finished rewriting this into my new journal, right, so that I can anotarlo para esto, the song "Know That You Are Loved" came up by Cleo Sol. This happened to me at 9:44 p.m. last night on the 11th of October. So yeah, quería compartir eso. Entonces, para traducirlo, sacando una cita de mi diario durante el portal de León, escribí: necesitas aprender a soltar las cosas que te causan dolor. Suéltalas. Ya no te pertenecen. Hiciste un gran trabajo. Entonces, cuando yo estaba terminando de reescribir esto en mi nuevo diario, sonó la canción "Know That You Are Loved" de Cleo Sol. Y eso ocurrió el 11 de octubre a las 9:44 p.m. I reflect on all domestic violence relationships that I had endured since I was born. This is something that I also wrote in my new journal. So I'll continue. I never lived a year without domestic violence. In my new journal, I wrote, and I quote, "I sang my whole life because I had and still have dreams and fantasies of drowning, being drowned, or drowning myself. Growing up after domestic abuse would occur, I would hold my breath until I would almost pass out. My mom would visit me in my dreams and tell me that she would sing as a kid just so that I could sing, just so that I could be able to sing one day. She told me that singing was breathing, and breathing is living." Ahora, para traducir eso, reflexionando sobre todas las relaciones domésticamente violentas que tuve que soportar desde que nací. Nunca viví un solo año sin violencia doméstica, en verdad. Y en mi nuevo diario escribí esto, y dice: "Canté toda mi vida porque tenía y todavía tengo sueños y fantasías de ahogarme, de ser ahogada o de ahogarme yo misma. Creciendo, después de que ocurría el abuso doméstico, contenía la respiración hasta casi desmayarme. Mi mamá venía a mis sueños y me decía que ella cantaba de niña para que yo un día podría cantar. Me decía que cantar era respirar y respirar es vivir. Fin. Another update. During the month of August, Tiana Taylor's song Rose in Harlem, La Rosa de Harlem, or La Rosa en Harlem, La Vie en Rose. That song was very powerful, especially the quote, "Don't get caught up, young girl." Okay. And then I have another thing to share as well. So this is the last thing that I'll share for this little 12 of October and this little 12 episode. So last night I was taking a break from my podcasting to watch one of my favorite cartoons, Adventure Time. And I'd like to read a quote that was said at the end of season 2, episode 9, also titled The Other Tart. I just want to share that nothing happens by accident and nothing is a coincidence. This quote, I believe, greatly aligns with my August self-discovery and the connections I am making in this episode and have made. It's also special to be recording this 12th podcast episode on the 12th of October, 532 years ago today. Quisqueya and the Taínos were met with violence and genocide. And I, a Taína two-spirited woman, living in Quisqueya 532 years later, reflecting on my lived experiences in a colonized world. Let's take a moment to breathe this into this room and into our space. Anoche, mientras tomaba un descanso de mi podcast, decidí ver uno de mis shows favoritos que se llama Adventure Time. Y quiero leer una cita que aparece al final de la temporada 2 de episodio 9, que se llama The Other Tart. En verdad, nada sucede por accidente y nada es una coincidencia. Creo que esta cita se alinea profundamente con mi proceso de autodescubrimiento de agosto y con las conexiones que estoy haciendo en este episodio. También es especial estar grabando este 12º episodio del podcast el 12 de octubre. Hace 532 años, Quisqueya y los taínos fueron recibidos con violencia y genocidio. Y yo, una mujer taína de 2 espíritus, viviendo en Quisqueya 532 años después, reflexiono sobre mis experiencias vividas en un mundo colonizado. Tomemos un momento para respirar esto dentro del espacio. Y la cita se dice, "This cosmic dance of bursting decadence and withheld permissions twists all our arms collectively. But if sweetness can win, and it can, then I'll still be here tomorrow to high-five you yesterday, my friend. Peace." End quote. Esta danza cósmica de decadencia desbordante y permisos retenidos nos retuerce los brazos colectivamente. Pero si la dulzura puede ganar, y puede, entonces aún estaré aquí mañana para darte un chocolate ayer, mi amigo. Paz. End quote. Terminado de cita. Fin de cita. Yo no sé cómo se dice en verdad. Pero nada. Ya tú sabes. Thank you, mi gente, for listening. I hope everyone enjoyed me sharing a little bit more about my lived experiences this past summer. And please follow me on Instagram and Facebook at La Real Reina Taína. Por favor, sígueme en Instagram and Facebook and La Real Reina Taína. I am in the process of rebranding my businesses, so I will be updating my website soon. Stay tuned. And if you're bored, si ustedes están aburridos, deben escuchar las 30 canciones originales que yo escribí y que subí ya. Está en todas las plataformas de música, entonces no hay excusa. No hay excusa. So yeah, if you're bored, there are 30 songs, original songs created by me from the past 3 years. And yeah, you can find them on Bandcamp at larenataina.bandcamp.com, or you can find it on my YouTube at La Reina Taina. You can find my Vamos Hablar Inglés podcast and all the episodes on my YouTube as well at La Reina Taina. And you can also find my podcast episodes on my website at www.larenataina.com/VHI-podcast. This is the Vamos Hablar Inglés podcast, and I am your host, La Reina Taina. And as always, vete con Dios. Y que Dios te da amor, sabiduría y salud.
No pasa nada, yo me lo hago. Meneo te culito como Tyler. Amor